Greetings, this is Dr. Celestine Star, and I'm here on behalf of the High Spiritual Council, the Galactic Star Federation, and the Star Confederation. I'm here to share just some insights and feelings that are going on. The world is still not come back completely into harmony, and we just want to share with you some insights that come directly from the councils and the federations. We want to just share with humanity that we are on the very edge. We are in the end game. You can feel it. There's so much static energy. Perhaps when you go outside, bumping into people, looking into their eyes, you find that the tension, the wariness. We've gone through quite a transformation since 2020 and now 2021. The continuation of what is real and what is not real is one of the subjects that I want to speak to all of you. And it really is this illusionary putting out information that is true, putting out information that is not true, this disinformation. So in that, we would say it brings you back to the self and to recognize that your heart intelligence will always guide you along the path and keep you on a true path of oneness, love, harmony, balance, compassion. And that's ultimately the higher nature of humanity. So there are those who in their heart need to experience the lower nature of humanity, which is the reverse consciousness, the selfishness, the I am, the me, it's all mine, I want, I control. These are virtues of beings who have somehow flipped their consciousness or have their consciousness in such a way that these enactments of harm and miscommunications and the lower nature of humanity comes ringing through. Right now, the world leaders, each and every one of them of each and every country, are being tested against the feather of truth. Because ultimately, we leave this body behind and we move to a place where we then have to recognize and coming to a reckoning of our deeds and who we are. When you leave your body, you're the same person as you was when you took your last breath. So we have leaders that are being tested against the feather of truth. And believe me, there are millions of our species, who can tell the difference, let's just say hundreds of millions, who can tell the difference between the lie, the disinformation, the manipulation, and the programming that has been placed upon your fellow human beings. Now there's those of us which I call the 1/5 factor. If you are of the 1/5 factor and we look at nature and we see nature moves 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th move, it turns and moves the next in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clockwise, counterclockwise. There's a movement, there's a rhythm to nature. And so that 1/5 factor, that one is very transformative. It cannot be programmed. We cannot. I am a 1/5 factor. And energies, information can flow through me, as all of you, and I look at it and I can transmute it, and I have a tendency, because that is the way I am created, to take something that is very negative and transmute it into something golden and positive. So perhaps you are a 1/5 factor. Perhaps this is for you to look at the world in its totality and see where it is in need of transformation. Listen to the words coming through the media today, CNN, the New York Times, all of these conglomerates of media. Again, all of you are being tested against the feather of truth. Do not think that you can speak words that are manipulating and guiding humanity to do harm to themselves, to make a decision of health, of doing something to themselves that would cause harm. Do not think that you can manipulate people into believing that things that happened, like the insurrection, didn't happen. It's like keep repeating the lie, and a certain amount of people will believe you. But the other amount of people, the rest of us, who know completely and can see with our own eyes, hear with our own ears, and feel with our heart, we cannot be programmed. So factor into that and understand that we stand strong. There's many of us who stand strong in the world, and we're here to hold that position of goodness, compassion, love, balance, truth, harmony. And so when the winds of change come through, we support and we look for those that are coming forward to make this world a better place. And we ask those of you who are listening to take it upon yourself to go inward and ask yourself, am I here to bring harm to the world, or am I here to make this a better place? That's a really good question. Am I awake, or am I following somebody's word? And at this point in human history, the media cannot be trusted in its entirety. Yes, there is truthful things being placed out onto the web, but also there is disinformation. And in my own research, my own experience is that there are many people who play a game. They feel that they can put something that's really far out into the mind frame of humanity and just sit back and watch and see if you're going to take it for real. Take it and send it to your friends. Take it and set it on fire. Beware. Be aware. Be awake. This is the time not to fall asleep. But each of us is here for this moment. We are literally turning the wheel of time, guiding Earth along a pathway to a better place of being. And we as a species, as the Earth is awakening to its galactic beingness, and this is the path, we are being joined with the rest of the galactic nation, the star nations. The veil is dropping. But each of us are envisioning our world. There are 7 billion plus humans envisioning a world. And it's so modulated now because there's so much information, most do not know even what to envision. So they get tired. You get tired. Perhaps you get a little tired. Yes, I get tired sometimes. And you're like, just let them envision what it is. But no, your world is your world, and that is your responsibility. And so even if you can focus on, the waters being cleaned up, the plastic, all of the things that are making our bodies sick in the oceans, in the waters, the fluoride, the chlorine, these things that are stripping our mind down, stripping our bodies down. We are not a strong species at this point in time and space. We can do better. You're envisioning that it becomes more important to clear the waters than it is to own the waters and continue manufacturing different polymers that do damage and cause chemical imbalance in the human genome and all of plant life. We're now dealing with microwave technologies, and I hope that it is very short-lived and that we move into the tachyon fields of communication, which I'm hoping to bring forth in further talks that come along. So envisioning that the children are free, that the people are free, that our leaders are chosen by their intelligence, that their compassion, their desire for unified consciousness, not one world control governing, not manipulation of the masses to control and dominate, oppress, suppress, but to hold high that we are a species that we can join together and we share all of the bounty of the earth, and we make sure to give back and make sure to keep the earth in balance. I mean, how many civilizations, even the Mayan, the Aztec, the Inca, all Egyptian, they did not pay attention to this golden rule of giving back to the mother. We're still cutting down the rainforest for cattle. Hello? How is this still happening? So, recognizing that you are being called to pay attention, to wake up, to begin to envision for the world goodness. See us as one species. See us as being watched and viewed by other species of other galaxies. Arcturans, Andromedans, Pleiadian, Venus, Saturn, all beings from different places within the Sheshata or the Milky Way and beyond. Sirian, our lineage is from the star system Sirius, which is our binary star configuration of Earth. Our solar system is configured in with Sirian solar system. So we have intelligences that look in upon us and watch us, and we are really, as a human species, we are not as advanced as we think. So those who have the superiority complex, you might want to double think that and prepare yourself for the shock of the century when you end up with people who have the technology to go from one planet to another, to go from one solar system, to interdimensional travel, to time travel with the ship, and to have cities that are in glorious effect. And we're not talking about chop wood, carry water. We're talking about using their mental facilities to manifest at desired whim. And then you look at yourself and you say, I'm superior over somebody because they have a different colored skin. That is ridiculous. You need to wake up. That paradigm is so flat. And you pushing it out there are now being held accountable against the feather of truth when you meet your maker. Because you're not from royalty, you're not a plantation owner, probably barely have a house, who knows? But whoever you are, if you have this idealism of superiority, it is only one stop in the many levels of consciousness that await you. So I give you the power to awaken and join us as one species. Now there are many beings here, 7 billion, and each one coming from different parts of the galaxy. I've been working with people in their deep subconscious mind doing galactic origin sessions. And this was given to me by the High Spiritual Council. And I tell you, it has been an awakening for me, Star, to be before someone who recognizes where they came from when they first came to Earth and why they came here. For you to understand that, that is a superior consciousness, because you get to see, what is all this incarnation of myself about? You know, I've come here. Did I come in a group? Did I come by myself? Was I an observer? Did I get in this density field and forget about who I was and my people? Did I come from another star system? Did I come from the infinite light energies or sound energies? I have been before the Most on High, because once you know where you came from, you first came to Earth, your contracts, you can look at that, assess them, and see if you need to keep them, modify them, let them go. What do you need to do? And then going back further, you get to go back to where you came from. And let me tell you, you cannot make this stuff up. It's so deep for each person. And so what we have is a humanity that is galactic intelligence here as an expression of the source, who have a destiny. Each of our humanness has a destiny, a purpose, and a function. I love the Kemetic teachings, because just as the Chinese lineage teaches of energy, Egyptian lineage teaches of quality and function. So think about that. When other species see us and they recognize the vibrational tones that we carry, the quality and function of who we are, they see that there is a placement for each of us to destroy a village, to destroy something that is made by the Creator. Again, you will meet the Creator, and your expression to be a destroyer will then come forward in your understanding. Yes, there are those who are born to bring non-beneficial effect, to carry the reverse consciousness. And always there is the movement of balance, because that is the universal principle of balance and harmony. So there is honor and respect in that, but yet as you're doing these enactments, you have the free will to awaken to what it is that you are enacting. Because you're considered by the Galactics a human sea consciousness, and that you are an expression, but yet you're awakening. Just as the source, just as the radiant one awoke to itself, you awaken. You awaken, and you recognize that you can manifest from your will, from your heart, from your inner consciousness outward, can bring forth and manifest your world, that you are responsible. So everything that is happening, remember, you've given permission. So if we're going to continue to give permission to the leaders to ruin our world, to make the money and get away with it and cause people harm, we have to take responsibility. For me, I cleared the deck. I said, no, I do not give you permission in my world to bring harm to me. There's a boundary. Anything you do does not affect my life. Anything you think, anything you put out there, my life is modulated within my own sovereign beingness. And I give love to everything. I acknowledge that this is your work, but it doesn't affect my life and in my creation. One of the best teachings I ever had from Ruby Sky, Arapaho Indian woman. She was a beautiful medicine woman. She taught me the way of the medicine wheel, and to recognize as you build the circle, you're looking into your universe and how it is created, how it is in balance and out of balance, and the meditation itself is incredible. And I will always treasure that she gave me that, how to understand the deeper teachings of the medicine wheel. Your life is your medicine wheel. How you have health, how you take care of your family, how you take care of your neighborhood, how you take care of your town, all of these things. Keep going, keep going. How do you take care of the world? Yeah, you're creating a world. And it's good to have envisionings that are of a higher degree. Whether you're able to fulfill them or not, you can ask or envision that those who get inspired will come and fulfill those visions, and the universe is listening in every moment. So we're there at the veil. The veil is dropping, and we're coming up on June 24th, which will be a date that hopefully they will open up President Nixon's time capsule. That's what we're waiting on. We're not looking forward to any kind of psyops of invasion by aliens, because, for the last 40 years, I've been contacted and in contact with not only immortal beings, celestial beings, interdimensional godlike beings, but also your humanness, your relatives that are galactic in nature, ultra-terrestrial, you would call them. And they come in humanoid shapes, they come in many shapes and forms. But having contact with them, I recognized long ago that if they wanted to take over the world, they could. And we know the 5G is now capable of 6G, which the space program, we know that they can cause an effect upon spacecrafts coming into Earth. But we don't own the Earth. We don't. And they could shut it down. I'm told directly from Tanandor and also from the High Sirian Council. They could shut down every communication, all the wiring, everything on this planet, if they choose. But they do not choose to do that. They see us and they know that we have purposeful function, and they're trying to assist us. So please take that as a note, that if you hear the psyops of aliens invading and this and that, just understand that it is far from the truth. And I am here as ambassador to the High Spiritual Council, the Galactic Star Federation, and the Star Confederation, to say that their purposeful function has been to be a part of Earth's formation from the beginning. And they shall be here till the end. There is no need to take over the spirit race. That's why the human sea consciousness, that 10,500 years ago, the barrier was put up. There was an actual barrier and it was stipulated basically to not interfere with our evolution, those who had incarnated in this signature form of Earth, the human form. And pretty much went along until we blew out our shield, playing around with atomic weapons. And I'm sure it had to happen to get us at that point, because we're here 10,500 years later at the exact point of decision. Are we going to go galactic? Are we going to play around and take the Earth into a dive off the cliff with improper and poor leadership of our species? Or are we going to make it? Are we going to use our mental envisioning, our heart's light, asking for guidance, asking for assistance, giving permission for our star relatives to assist? The Sirian Council is here. They're here to assist, to clean up all this genetic engineer experimentations that have been going on. They are not extremely elated with it, and they understand it, and the choice of maybe moving humanity into AI. But where does that take you? Is that really where we want our race to go? Not everybody's up for that. Maybe go to another planet and do it, and that's fine. But here, the organicness of the beauty of the skin, the touch, the love, having the babies, naturally eating the fresh fruit, corn, all that is a part of our lives. And most of us, not ready to give that up, to put metal and steel and nanotechnologies in our beingness. so others can communicate and track and control, at least in my world. That's not what I'm envisioning. Anyway, I'm here for you, and just know that as a humanity, we cannot make it alone. Our electromagnetic grid is becoming weaker in different places. There's holes in the electromagnetic grid, the magnetosphere. And we have a weakened sun. The sunspots are happening in different ways. And we have gamma rays and photonic energy just pouring in on us. As it pours through us, we are mutating. Because radiation causes the cells to mutate, right? And so what I understand is that it is opening the field of the right and the left brain to work together, almost making another type of brain. And so the utilization of intuition and reasoning together. And what is that going to formulate? I'm excited to see how that's going to go. We've got to make it through without adding these complex health issues that are detrimental and take our race out, take the species, and depopulate. So I'd like to see us getting through that so that we can grow in strength and grow in health. I'm so grateful for the quantum sciences coming online, frequency, sound. These are the things that are going to carry us into the future. Sound medicine for the body, the emotions, and the mind. Being able to hum, finding those notes that bring us into alignment and keep us going. So I'm excited for that, and look for it in the Healy, Healy, Healy device, self-governing, self-healing. Look for it in the beamer and the different aspects of the beamer helping to modulate the electromagnetic grid and the capillaries pulsing and the blood flowing in numerous different health benefits. So there's a lot coming your way, and that's what I'm excited about, and to know that in the near future that the technologies we've been waiting for is here. And we're going to go beyond the microwave, which is very detrimental. And that's not to say shut it down, but to recognize that tachyon energy is the next wave. So with the deepest love, we say, let the leaders awaken. May you awaken. May you know that you are being tested against the feather of truth. All of the space program, all of those who are doing their manipulation, disinformation, telling lies, you are being tested against the feather of truth, and you will be seen for that. And it's good, because we need to move on from those type of things in the mass public. You have a responsibility by having that voice sitting at the top of the world. And so cracking the heart open and recognizing that you have two choices, two paths. One goes over the cliff. Entering that timeline is the apocalypse of humanity and the world. And the other path leads across the waters to the high living and the most incredible experiences to live in the field of the galacticness of the whole of creation. Letting technologies flow in good, balanced ways, and letting nature reclaim itself, Mother Gaia, for she is moving towards harmony and balance all the time. She knows how to do it. So sending lots of love to all of you. This is Dr. Celestine Star. Kereskanamai Karasta. Randavura Kamais Tupeshe. Randave Kuramata. Glory in the light of the Radiant One. Blessed be you.